Good evening and welcome to Chaos,
Mischief,
and Muscles.
Or good afternoon. After dark, because we're recording this at 9:45 p.m. Central Standard Time. But it's a Friday. It's a Friday.
It is a Friday. We were recording.
Although I am getting up early tomorrow, but
I have to get up early too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But welcome to our podcast where we talk about pretty much anything, everything, whatever we want, and it's usually chaos and mischief and some mental muscles and physical muscles that happen from time to time because we work out because we're cool.
I work out.
I have no idea what the topic is going to be tonight because we decided to do a little random thing, and one of us gets to pick the topic, and the others don't know what it is. The only person who knows right now is Chaos.
Me.
Is it balls?
Is it balls?
Talk about the different kinds of balls.
I mean, that does have a lot of, territory we could cover.
It could, I had to teach a whole lesson on balls for an entire month at my old job.
There was a song, wasn't there?
Balls are so much fun. That's why I have two, not just one. My two big pink balls. That one.
No, but, it works. No. Okay, so you guys got an abbreviated version of this earlier. Okay. So I was driving my kiddo back to the apartment, and we had to stop and get water and blah, 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 right?
I was hoping it would be along these lines.
Yes, absolutely. So we stop, and I'm in line, and Elliot's in the car. Elliot is my son. Elliot's in the car. I'm in the 7-Eleven on my own, right? And behind me is this little gaggle of young teenage girls, right? And they're all done up fancy, and I don't know, I want to say late middle school, early high school, right, is about the age they were, right? And they're done up super fancy. They've got the shorty shorts and the tube top and all the makeup, and they've got the giant gold hoop earrings and the overlined lips in brown with nude or clear gloss, right?
It's like a rite of passage.
Right? It must be.
My middle school years are catching up to me and flashbacking.
I was never like that. I was too scared of makeup.
I just never figure it out,
like a
so
rat's nest.
But okay, whatever. They're teenage girls doing their thing. They're exuberant and boisterous, but I'm used to that because I have a Lydia. But then they start talking shit about the outfit I'm wearing, which
rude.
Yeah, I was wearing this shirt. J Dilla changed my life. Just a basic white t-shirt with some letters on it. And some bike shorts, which are, of course, skin tight, like they are. And they start talking shit about, I don't even know. I was in shock when I realized what was being said. But basically making fun of me and that I'm too fat and that I should not be wearing this. And, oh my God, what am I doing? How gross, disgusting, right? They're just talking. And I'm not yet up to the register, so this is going on the whole time I'm waiting for the register, and then I get up there, and I tell him what I want, and I give him my water and my Gatorade and everything, right? And my response was head down, scrunch in, make myself take up as little space as I can. Hurry up, get my business done, keep my mouth shut, and fucking go. I haven't had an interaction like that in more than a year. I want to say it's a good 2-3 years since I've had something like that happen in real life, right? Not online. People say shit online, whatever, right? But in real life, it's been years. I can't even, it doesn't even mean anything to me. The previous time that it happened, I've grown past that. So I can't even remember. I can't even recall when the last time something like this happened to me in person. And I was in such shock. And, well, no, that's exactly it. I was in shock that this is still the way of the world, right? And I know they were teenage girls. They're stupid, young, insecure little girls that got to tear something down to make themselves feel better, right? Come on. We all went through middle school. We all went through high school, right? So, what they said, I could give a shit. And it's not even what they said. It's not how they said it or the fact that they said it. It is honestly the thing that I was bewildered by was my reaction, because that was my default reaction in high school, in middle school. That was my default reaction going up through life until I hit this period that I like to call my zero fucks given era, right? Why did I not say anything? Right. And Elliot helped me because like I got my anger out. I was mad. I was so mad. Right. And Lydia called right as I got back in the car. And I'm like, Lydia, I'm not mad at you, but I am very mad right now. I need to end this call. Right. And she was cool. She just asked if we could stop and get ice. And so I think we forgot.
Oops.
That's okay.
Oops.
They live like less than a quarter of a mile from a gas station. So
They're fine.
excuse me. But Elliot helped me after I got my calm down, right? And we were driving back to the apartment. They helped me kind of figure out how to be okay with that response. Because he basically said, okay, yes, that's not the reaction you wanted to have. But the fact that you know that's not the reaction you wanted to have is proof of your growth and progress. Even if it's not exactly like, how did I raise such a fucking bright child? Seriously. Because that was exactly what I needed to hear in that moment. And I'm still a little weirded out, but I'm okay with it. I learned a lesson. I'll journal about it later. You know, I kind of journaled by sending a really long text to Mike about it, but yeah. So, thoughts, my dearies.
I think when you were in like middle school and high school, right? Like you're going through this weird growth period of figuring out who you are.
Yeah.
And then you're doing that again. And so your brain is reverting back to how do I protect myself in this really vulnerable moment is how I see it.
Same.
You know, like you are still in like a zero fucks era, right? But like you haven't had to deal with something like this since you started this process, really.
Yeah.
Right? And so as you're working to rewire your brain and like have zero fucks about those comments, it's still going to default to the mode that it knows to protect itself because you're in a really vulnerable place of change. And you're just trying to protect you, and it's an asshole.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to react like that. You want to have zero fucks. But at the same time, you also know how hard you've worked and all that you've done to get to where you are.
Yeah.
And you're just in a really vulnerable spot right now. But Elliot's right.
Yeah.
You're aware of it. And hopefully it doesn't happen again. But if it does, maybe you're better prepared to handle it a little differently next time in a way that you can be more proud of. But
yeah, I'm
really
a little
proud
disappointed in myself.
I mean, I'm really proud of you for recognizing, though, that that's not how you wanted to react.
Yeah.
And that you wanted to do something different. But I do think that that's part of it.
That is a big part of it. But also, on top of it, you're rewiring your brain, you're learning, you're reviewing how you see yourself, like changing how you view yourself overall. And these kids are just being straight up rude. I mean, as a parent, I'm like, I would bitch slap them if they were my kids. I would have been like, the hell are you doing talking about people like that?
Right.
Yep.
But at the same time, you've also been under a lot of stress just in general, because moving is stressful.
Moving is super stressful.
It's super stressful. So on top of that,
I think the two of us can relate to that right now.
like, there's a lot of moving going around for all of us. We're all going to be moving in the next 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Are we
we'll all
also
have gone
going
through
to
some
be
kind of
shaking?
Yes, we are going to be shaking. It's not, if anybody's just listening, we literally just started dancing in our chairs because reasons. It's late.
That's the chaos.
I'm so glad you picked this topic because
I was
that
really,
was going to
really
be
hoping.
my topic. I was going to ask about that.
Yeah.
That was going to be my suggestion that like, how
does that mean we all shared the same brain cell?
We all brain cells.
Because I had the same thought.
It's a brain cell thing.
My brain cells over.
My brain cells by the front
on
door.
my keys. Same. Mine's next to the garage. But it's like, how do we handle these situations when people are judging us and they haven't seen where we've been? It's like, you've honestly, the fact that you kind of let it go, and even though you're mad at yourself for the situation, you just kind of let it go. And as you were talking to us about it, it's not, you're not dwelling on it, you're not hyper fixating on it. It's just one of those, I didn't like my reaction, how can I deal with this going forward? Like,
I did not do. Have I, guys?
Words are hard. It's almost 9 o'clock for
Okay,
you.
so remember way back when the OK Cupid days?
Oh, can we not talk about those?
No, hold on. This is relevant to
wanna
the
talk about
topic.
those.
Okay, so OK Cupid, I had a great profile. It was curated and it was full of all the things you needed to know whether or not we were going to be compatible, right? All of my like potential deal breakers with a person. So the fact that I was an atheist, the fact that I was a smoker, the fact that I was, hey, fat, all of those things were out, right? I was very clear and upfront about it all. And one of them, it was like, so if you can't handle the fact that I'm a bigger girl, then I'm not for you, right? I said, I've been for over a decade fighting medical conditions and blah, blah, blah. And if I can't do that, I'm sorry, it's not changing for you. So just walk on by, right? Like that was the tone of my profile. Great, wonderful, honest, true to who I am, right? And very clear. I received one day a horrible message, absolutely horrible message, called me also, we're not even going to go into the details because we know, right?
Yeah.
I kept
we
that
probably got similar
message.
ones.
I kept that message in my inbox. I never deleted it. I never responded to it, but I kept it in my inbox. And in fact, I printed it off and stuck it in my papers, right? Yeah. At the time, I was thinking it was something like my intention when I initially kept it was just because they say this does not mean that it's true, right? These are his words and his perception of the words that I put onto my profile, and I know for a fact that they are not true, right? So that was the intention when I saved it, and when I printed it off is just like a reminder that strangers don't know shit about me, right? It ended up being something that I would stumble across every once in a while. And I kept it for years. Like, I think it had been 5 or 6 years by the time I finally got rid of it. So I would stumble across it every 3 to 6 months or so, and I would feel like shit. Because whatever my intention was at the time that I kept it, every time that I came across it again, I would feel exactly the same as I felt when I first read those words.
It's like it stings all, like you're hearing them for the first time again.
Yes. And honestly, it is the safety and strength of the relationship that I am in now that gave me the ability to get rid of that. Because I don't know, I guess a part of me thought I needed the reminder that obviously people don't love me and I'm not worth anything to anyone and blah, blah. You know, all the shit our brains do to us, right? But it was, I also went through a time where with Chris, my current, that he helped me. This was early in our relationship. He helped me burn all the pictures and everything like keepsakes and stuff from ex-husband the second. I was like, do you know someplace I can burn some stuff? Because I lived in an apartment. I didn't know where I could go burn stuff. And I'm like, and it's a chunky pile of paper, right? And I'm like, do you know someplace I can go burn stuff? And so this was like, I don't know, one of our early dates as he took me down the road to this diner that's in the middle of nowhere. It's like, I don't know, 5 or 10 miles outside of town. Had the best fucking sandwich we've ever had. And I've never found anything to top it. And then he took me to a campground and we lit a fire and I burned a bunch of shit. And so that was the first time he helped me purge some shit. And then the next time was the next time I came across that bullshit. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm done. And by then I had already deleted my OkCupid account and everything, so it wasn't there anymore. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I started that story, but it's done now.
It's
The
letting
end.
go.
The end. Yeah.
The end.
It is.
Thanks for listening. This has been our random tangent. No. How
It's
many
not
random
even the
tangents
first
we've
one.
gone? But it
We
wasn't.
need a tangent counter.
It wasn't random. It actually
was
has
that-
something to ADHD. It did have something to do with it.
Yeah. I see the connection.
I see the connection. I got the squirrel that ran off on the limb and then jumped over to this limb and then went backwards and went on that limb. I got it. I followed the whole squirrel situation.
Sweet.
But in all seriousness, it's how we handled things before versus how we're handling things now with those situations. And you're over here being like, I don't like my response. I withdrew. I went back to hunching over and making myself smaller instead of shoulders back, standing up confident because
Burn that motherfucker.
I've got the song in my head. Thank you so much. I hate you so much sometimes.
You know exactly what you do. You know exactly what you were doing.
I know. It's you're catching yourself sooner, which is wicked good. You're changing the thought of, yeah, they're right, to fuck, I didn't want to react like that. I shouldn't have reacted like that. I should have said something. I hear wee-woos.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how close they are.
The police are upset with this.
I think it's a fire truck or an ambulance.
It's a wee-woo.
Sorry.
This is what happens when we record.
Tangent.
We hear wee-woos. But like, I've run into that from time to time. I'll have kids make comments. I got kids looking at me tonight while we were eating Taco Bell, and I didn't react. And for me, that's just my go-to. Yours is, you'll get there. You'll get to not reacting at all, where it's just kids are kids.
I'm so dense and oblivious that I don't know if people are looking unless they say something.
Oh no, they made comments about my shirt because I wear this
What?
shirt. It's my tie-dye. It's my purple.
That's
and
the
blue
best
tie-dye.
shirt ever.
And I was wearing shorts and sandals, and
Who cares?
the shorts are, you sit down in shorts, and if you have any kind of squish the way we do, like most people do, there's gonna be a little bulge, and it's like
I look pregnant in my biker shorts. The outfit I wore yesterday, it was like a shorter top and biker shorts, and I looked in the mirror. I was cat sitting, and I was like, oh no, I was babysitting, and I looked in the mirror. I was like, I kind of look pregnant. I was like, oh god. God, this is not ever going to happen. It was like a jump scare, though.
I have a picture of you, and I think you have Meep in your sweatshirt.
No, I have a water bottle in my sweatshirt.
That's
Is it
what
from
it is.
the hike?
That's what
Yeah.
From the hike.
No, I
and I'm
remember.
like,
Yeah, you told me to take it out because I looked pregnant.
I took the picture, and then I told her to take it out because I'm like, hey, Tracy, you're pregnant.
I do, but speaking of that, I get not so much these kids in my current class, but I've gotten kids and they're kids, right? They don't know any better, but they'll ask me like, "Do you have a baby in your belly?" And I'm like, "No." Well, why is it so squishy? Why is it so big? Because I like to eat. I have one kid right now. He's not in my class, but we have gym time at the same time as his class, and he likes my tattoo. And he'll come up and he'll go, "Squishy." and I tell him, I go, "I'm working on it, dude." And kids have zero filter, but yeah. Anyway,
I think my favorite thing about the whole, speaking of kids and honesty and just not having filters for the most part at certain ages, Kaylee used to come up to me before I started losing weight. When this is like, she's like 2-3 years old, right? When I still had a bit. And she'd come up and she'd go, "When are you going to have another baby?" And I'd be like, I ain't got no parts for that now. That was my response afterwards. But it was like, I don't know. She's like, "You have a really big tummy, mama." And it just it used to sting. Yeah. And now because I don't have as big of a stomach as I used to, and my boobs are bigger than my tummy, she'll just come up and start bongoing my fucking boobs.
She was motorboating you earlier.
No, she was kissing my boob because my boobs
looked
sleep
like she was
better if you give them
motorboating you.
kisses.
That's what she said.
I don't know where she got that from. No idea. But she's just like, "Your boobs sleep better with kisses. Good night, boobs," is what she said walking out of the room.
Someone needs to write a book that's a parody of Goodnight Moon, but it's just Goodnight Boobs.
But
no,
it's
job.
Kids and teenagers and
And I'm
because they're still in that honest stage in some ways, and then they also, I will say that I was a little bitch. I'm gonna be honest. I was a bitch when I was that age. When I wore short skirts and tube tops, and I tried to do the makeup, I failed horribly. It was terrible.
it's
But
a
I
rite of
lived on a
passage.
college campus, and I would go and hang out with the college students, and I would pass as a 16, 17-year-old girl. In, eighth grade, ninth grade, and I just, because I would pass that way, but I would see people who were bigger, and because I was bigger than most of the girls in my school, like I was taller, I was bigger chested, I was legitimately bigger, and I would make fun of people because I felt bad about myself. And so every time a kid starts making fun of me, or it's like, I know that it's their insecurity. So that's what helped me a lot, is it's like, I know this is coming from a place of insecurity, not a place of malice. It's more of a malice towards himself, not towards me. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just an easy target.
I would say, like, I was going to let you finish.
No, it's okay. I trained of thought derailed.
I would say, like, so I lost weight several years ago, like 40 pounds or something like that. Even then, I was a little bit like that because I was still really insecure because I couldn't get down further. And there were times where I'm like, well, at least I'm not as big as those people, or I'm not as big as that person. And I hated myself. And part of the reason why I hated myself was because I was so insecure and mean about it, because I would never do that now, ever.
I can't think of a time I have, like, this perspective is new to me. Because, yes, I've been deeply insecure, and yes, I've deeply hated myself. But I always just took that out on myself.
Well, I took it out on myself, too. But to try and make myself feel better, I would compare myself to other people.
Okay, I never did it with physicality. But, like, I would definitely think really mean things about stupid people.
Yeah.
Same.
I still kind of do that.
Actually.
But yeah.
Or those I perceived to be not as quick or not as knowledgeable as I was at whatever time that was. Because that's one thing I've always had, is my smarts, right? That's never had anything to do with my size. My brain has been peak until perimenopause, and now it is slush.
Shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a tiger's blood slushy for Zill from Rocket that's free on Fridays this month.
Damn it.
Just throwing me off. You're done.
That's it. I'm out.
Cass is done.
Oh my God.
Brain. Gone.
So far derailed.
Okay.
We were talking to us being insecure and judging other people to make ourselves feel better.
I think that's the biggest shift that I've had, losing weight and everything, is I'm less judgmental.
This time
overall.
around, I definitely am.
Yeah.
Like, I used to be so judgmental of, like, literally everybody. Because I didn't want to look at myself, and I would judge myself so badly and so harshly. But now I'm like, I'm joking about the Taco Bell kids not putting enough cheese in my little containers for my chips. Like, it was like, okay, I guess I don't need that much cheese, whatever. And I'm like,
whatever.
They had to be
not
lactose
even
intolerant.
enough cheese in a Foles one.
Right?
Right?
It's okay. I didn't need to eat all the chips, and that's fine. And I didn't need to eat a whole,
sour cream.
I didn't have to have sour cream on all of it. I just needed a bite of it. It's fine. It's fine. It's no big deal.
Just a little smidge, a little taste of it.
I just needed a little bit. But it's just one of those things where it's like, in the past, I would have gotten so mad, and I would have been like, these damn kids. And instead, I'm like, we're sitting here joking.
You would have had a boomer response.
I would have had a boomer response. Ultra boomer response. No,
This conversation is kind of reminding me about... Okay, so remember when we were all together in Colorado and I'd asked you guys to help
You guys
me?
were together in Colorado?
What?
Yes.
I missed it.
Well, I'm sorry I invited your clone instead of you. She didn't have to work.
That bitch gets to do everything.
Wait, which one of you is coming to live with me?
You'll never know.
Both.
Oh, God.
One of them's going to live in the walls.
Pee-pee. I have a fear of that. Anyways, go on.
Anyway, we were together in Colorado.
When we were together in Colorado, right? And I had asked you guys to help me get like a realistic visual of what it is that I look like.
Yeah.
Right? I used to go around, and I think this is why there was a little bit of a disconnect when I would ask Chris this question, right? Because for our listeners, what I want to do is like when I look at myself in the mirror, I have a very dysmorphic kind of view of myself, right? I only really see the negative things. There's like my eyes someday are beautiful. Right? They're probably beautiful every day, but I can only see it some days, right? And some days my smile is banging. Some days I fucking hate my smile, right? Some days my skin is like exploding everywhere and I hate it and it hurts and acne, gross. I'm putrid, right? This is stuff that I'm trying to change in my brain. Right. And so I had asked Mandy and also Tracy to help me get an idea of like if they saw, because we were in Boulder doing the Boulder 53,000 people.
54,000.
54,000 people at that race. And then, you know, probably a bunch of them at the festival thing we were at the day before. Right. And so I was just I said, if you see somebody who has the physical characteristics of my body, will you point them out to me, please? Right? Because I'm trying to, when I look at Tracy, I don't notice her flaws. When I look at Mandy, I don't notice her flaws. Anybody in our group, I don't notice the things that they consider flaws, right? And I would like to change it so that I can look at myself the same way that I look at the people that I love and care for, right? Or random strangers out in the world. And that's the difference, right? Because now I can look at random strangers. It doesn't even have to be someone I care about now, right? But if we rewind 5-10 years, I would look at some bodies that are on the heavier side that I was like, God, I hope I don't look like that, right? Like I still didn't have a good view of what I looked like, and I knew that, but like I had this narrative in my mind when I would see someone walking down the street or, you know, pushing their cart in Walmart or whatever, right? And there were some bodies where I was like, please, God, I don't look like that, please, right? And that is probably the most ungenerous thing I've ever thought about a stranger. Anybody else that I've thought worse of, they fucking earned it, and it had nothing to do with their physical presence and everything to do with who they are as a person. But that's what this conversation that we're having right now is kind of reminding me of, is just that shift of perspective. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that changed. I'm glad it changed.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like knowing that I used to think that other people weren't worthy, or I'm gonna cry. We need to change this topic.
No, you started it. I'm sorry.
You started it. You wanted to talk about this.
You wanted to talk about it.
Cass, I feel that on like every level though, because I mean, it goes back to, like I said before, I've thought the same thing. And like at my heaviest, I've had those moments where I'm like, at least I'm not that big. Or I would like on TikTok or something, like my 600-pound life would come up, or YouTube. My 600-pound life would come up, and I'm like, oh, thank God that's not me. And I also had that shift, and I'm so glad it did, because I wouldn't want people thinking that way about me.
Yeah.
So why should I think about that way about other people? They don't deserve it. We talk about it all the time in the group. None of us got fat because we wanted to. We're all dealing with shit, and food was the way that we handled it. And I'm really proud of you for having that shift of realizing that just because someone is bigger doesn't mean that they're worth any less. Like a person's body has no merit to it doesn't have anything to do with their worth. It's all who they are as a person. And a lot of times people are just really, really broken, and that's how they deal with it. It's food. We've all been there. That's why we're friends. That's why we're in the group that we're in, you know? So
I pick up strays.
Yeah, you do. Strays.
It's backstory. I have a tendency to pick up strays. I pick up people people are alone, people doing their own thing, I will say hi, and I usually strike up a conversation. We did it yesterday. I spent 2 freaking hours at Costco because Kaylee spent 45 minutes talking to this couple. Like, we were
She gets
sitting
it
there.
from you, Mom.
I know. But we were sitting there, and I ended up adopting these 80-year-old, these old folks. They referred to themselves as old folks. That wasn't me. They did it.
I love doing that. When I was at
But
the airport waiting to go to Colorado, there was a gentleman. Okay, so it was, paint this picture. It was 5 o'clock in the morning at an airport. The
Ew.
coffee hadn't hit yet. And this guy starts talking to me. I'm like, oh my God, it's so early. I do not want to talk to this guy. But he was so friendly and so engaging that I couldn't not talk to him. And we talked about how he lived in Denver, but he had also lived in Minnesota, and he was in like Minnesota because he works for a company and was doing like volunteer work for them and like won this award, and it was really awesome. And he talked about how he was a runner and how he got to do all these really cool like races, and how like him and his ex-girlfriend, like his ex-girlfriend lived like miles away, and he's like, I basically ran a marathon to get to her house, and like just like really cool stories. And he like asked me at one point, he's like, so what's your story? And I'm like, whoa, I've never been asked that before. And like, so I'm like, I'm not sure. Like, where do I start with that? And it's like, I came away from that conversation and I'm like, I wish I would have gotten his name and like some way to like stay in touch with him, because he was just a really cool dude. But I'm like, maybe that was just the only interaction we were meant to have. But I'm like, that's the kind of person I want to be. That's going to start a conversation with someone at 5 o'clock in the morning in the airport and learn so much cool shit about each other. He traveled all over the world. His mom lived in Ireland. Like, just, it was just so cool talking to him. Like, just, yeah, just a gem of a human.
I just had like a were you able to, so first a question, were you able to tell him your story?
Yeah, yeah. I talked about living in Beijing. I talked about like coming back here and like my hospital stay, and like I'm going to see my best friends in Colorado. We all met through like a health and wellness weight loss group. Like, been on that journey for like a year. I can't remember what else because coffee hadn't hit quite yet and it was early.
That
But
has the makings of a really great homework assignment for our group, by the by.
it does.
what's your story?
I
Yeah.
actually was thinking about that. That is going to be. I have
You know what? You know what I
been
think we
doing
should
weekly
do?
challenges.
Yeah, Mandy's been doing weekly challenges in our group. I think we need to do a class on it first,
Yep.
like one of our Friday classes about like what's your story, and get people to really think about it. Brainstorming
like
class
that.
ideas here now.
Yep.
I like that idea.
We should
So if you're listening
try
and you're in our
teach.
group,
You get
if you're
a
in our group, you get a little nugget
Preview.
of what
You
we're
get
a heads
gonna have
up.
class on
You get a heads
at
up.
some point.
and you have to come.
You
No
can't,
getting out of
man.
this
You
one.
can't not.
They're not gonna know.
They're not
They
gonna
won't
know. Oh, my brain is.
How would they know?
They're not gonna know.
They don't know that we know that we know.
But like, I would have judged these people, like in all seriousness, back in the day, because they were a little on the heavier side. But they're 80 freaking years old. They're allowed to live however the hell they want to live. They're
Right?
like, and just like that guy, whole life story. We
Yeah.
got the whole life story. It turns out they live 3 blocks away.
That's
We
so
have walked past
fun.
their house. I'm like 90% sure because they're telling me where they live, and I'm like, I was thinking about it, and I'm driving. We're coming back from the park yesterday, and I look over, and I'm like, that's where Kaylee's new grandparents live. Because that's what I'm like in my brain. She just adopted another set of grandparents. But
Good
like,
timing.
we're on a podcast.
It's gonna get edited out.
No, that's not gonna get edited out. No, it's just, but it's one of those things where it's like when you stop judging everybody, you get really cool stories. Is what I found.
Yeah.
And you're able
Yeah.
to share your story in an authentic way. And in fact, I actually could call up this woman and be like, hey, where do you live? Because I got her name, I got her card, because she's, works in private duty care, which is part of the nursing field, helping people who need private care. And it was just like kind of cool. And she just gave me her card. But if me of 3 years ago, A, I wouldn't even be in Texas, but B, I wouldn't have had the courage to talk to anybody that I don't know. And now it's like,
What do you
I
think
can
the
stand up
shift
to
was for
kids.
you? Like, why do you think you made that shift?
Because I was lonely in a lot of ways. And I decided that I wanted to be somebody who could talk to anybody. I used to see myself as I was like, I'm so awkward. I would always say the wrong thing.
Oh
I
yeah.
really would. I would say the wrong thing all the time. I would overshare in like the most awkward ways, and I didn't know how to talk to people. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
it's a skill. And now it, like, these kids making fun of my shirt and my squish and everything like that tonight, it's like I offered them a ride home because it was raining and their mom was on the way. But it's like, my response wasn't to get annoyed with these kids. It was, do you guys need a ride home?
Yeah.
Like, they had their dog. They snuck their dog into the Taco Bell and put it underneath the chair. Like, but it's like, because I know that they're kids. I know that they've got some insecurities, and they weren't small boys either. Like, they had to be eighth graders, but they were also a little on the pudgier side. And when you feel insecure about yourself, that's when it comes out. And so those
Yeah.
girls making those comments to you, it says everything about them and in
Yeah.
the environment that they grew up in. Because I grew up listening to my bio mom always talking about how fat she was, and she put me on a diet. Oh my god, so many diets. So many diets. All of the salads. Like, we would have, like, the only reason I like Caesar salad is because we would put steak on it. Like, she would get like the cheap steaks, like from the
Yep.
clearance section of the King Supers, cook those up same day, and just toss those on. Which
Yeah.
she could not cook a steak. Now that I know how to cook, actually fucking cook, it's like, okay, yeah,
Relatable.
that was
I
bad.
get that
But
feeling.
like, I could only eat steak if it was covered in Caesar dressing. I still like it in Caesar dressing. It tastes really good. But that's neither here nor there. But what it is I grew up listening to my bio mom tell me that I was fat. I wasn't fat, but I swore to God that I was, because she kept telling me that I was fat. I needed to go on a diet. Nobody would like me if I stayed fat. And she's over here 5'5", 200 pounds. Like,
Projection.
and I took it upon myself, and so I started doing it to other people, just like those teenage girls did. And
Yep.
that shift of, I don't want to be like that, because I lived with that for 30 plus years, and in my head. And it's only in the last couple of years that I'm like, I literally can talk to anybody. I can talk to millionaires, which I have, and I can't. Not calling them assholes to their face is really hard sometimes.
Valid.
Yes.
Like, I can talk to people with lots of money. I could talk to the homeless guy on the street that, I'm sorry, the proper term now is unhoused. That's on me. Yeah, I'm gonna try and be respectful. I can talk to literally anybody. I mean, I've been homeless. I've lived in a storage unit. I've lived in a car. We lived in people's basements. We lived at foster homes, all these different things. Like,
It's easier to be homeless or unhoused in the summer months. Definitely. Because
yeah,
I camped in a few ditches, because we had a lot of irrigation ditches that would be bone dry by the end of June, right?
Yep.
And so you camp in the ditch because it's easy to hide yourself so nobody can find you. Been there.
and yep, and so the thing is, it's like, I can, because I've been there, I can relate to people. So why not embrace that side? Just like you, like, Cass, I've seen you talk to people, and you make friends wherever you go. And I'm sure that if you hadn't been caught off guard by them, you would have been able to say something or just walk away. But I think it was because you're being overstressed. And you've been through a lot lately with, as I said, the move, and then we had the trip, and
All
there's
the
a lot
things
going on.
All the
Yes.
things.
And so it's like, you got
And you're trying to grow as a human.
Welcome to being a human. We grow and we grow and we grow.
Sometimes people do.
We if you're going anywhere, we grow and we grow.
True.
I'm like, who texted me? You.
It was me.
No, I did the same thing. I was like, I got a notification on my watch.
I'm like thinking it's my son on his way back from camp. No.
No,
It's
just
the
me
Cass.
taking my own notes to myself.
I do
And the rest of us.
the rest of us. So now that we've talked about it a little bit, and you've, after sharing, like, how are you feeling about the situation at this point?
I mean, there's still a little like grain of disappointment. I think that's probably going to stay there, but I think I need it to. I think I need it to be a reminder that I'm not always going to hit everything perfect. I'm not perfect.
What?
And yeah,
Are you sure?
I mean,
You're perfectly
yeah,
imperfect.
perfectly imperfect. Um But I think I need that as a reminder, honestly. It's not, I don't, we talked about this earlier today in class. Like, I've got, shadow depression going on right now, where it's just kind of whispers of it that's there. I think that's normal. I have been under a whole shit ton of stress, right? So, like, it's not anything that's big and life shattering or, anything like that. It's just something that I need to endure because that's just, it happens sometimes, right? And I did a good job today and I had a shitty ass moment with some stupid ass little bitches. Sorry, but they will be in my head as stupid ass little bitches. They're not my kids. I can call them whatever the fuck I want.
Agreed. As a parent, I approve of this message.
Right? And honestly, any decent person, if they knew their kid was acting like that, would not be mad.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I know we're trying to get rid of this word out of our vocabulary, but I'm fine for now.
I knew that's what you were going to say.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yep, because we have the brain cell. But
We do.
and fine, like, okay, maybe I just need a different word because there's legitimate use for the word fine. I hate the thought of just removing an entire word from my vocabulary because there are times and places where it is appropriate. Definitely using fine as a mask for not fine, that should not be happening. Right? But this is okay. I have processed it enough with you guys and with Elliot and kind of my vent write out thing that I sent in the text to Mike, which was just really like me trying, I think it was a little mini journal about it, honestly, because it went a little more in depth than what I had texted to you guys, but not as much in depth as I shared at the beginning of the podcast. Right. So, and he never answers texts, so it's fine. That's kind of my journal.
You'll get a response in 6 to 8 business weeks.
16. I was going to say
By the end of the year. By the end of the year.
I sent him a picture the day after he left to drive back to Texas from Colorado, and I have not gotten a response from that yet. So, has that been 2 weeks?
A week. Just over a week, almost 2 weeks.
Tell me how my watch just told me I hit my goal for steps today.
Surprise.
You know what?
I think I need to recalibrate mine because it keeps telling me I have exercise minutes, and I'm like, I've done nothing. I like end the day with like 30 minutes of exercise. Like my exercise ring is closed. I'm like,
maybe you need to
I don't
check
think
your
that's
heart rate.
true. My heart rate is abnormally low right now.
Ooh.
It was like 55 at the doctor's office.
That is quite low. Did they say
Maybe
you
you're just
might not be
super
alive?
relaxed.
I mean, my blood pressure was also low. That's why we're changing my meds.
Makes sense.
It was like 90 over 62.
That's like normal for me.
You should get that.
No, I no, not really. Mine is like 110 or
Oh, that's
what
normal.
is it? It's 110 90. I don't know. It's never high ever. If it goes, if I see the teens in any way, shape, or form, I know that my blood pressure is elevated because they're always like, is it usually like this? I'm like, no, usually it's like 110, 111. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
They go look at my history. They're like, oh, yeah, you seeing even 120 is really high for you. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, mine's usually 115 to 120 over 80 to 85.
Yeah.
So pretty much textbook perfect until I moved here.
Yeah.
Now I'm slightly elevated. And they said if it wasn't for the fact that like I have this historical data that they'd be concerned. But
I should have been on blood pressure meds a long time ago, but my doctor never put me on one, and then I switched doctors, and then actually I ended up in the hospital, and then they put me on them. Yeah.
Who would have thought?
My blood pressure when I went into the emergency room was 210 or 212 over like one something. It was like stroke level. Yeah.
okay.
My
I should have been.
My brother he's a truck driver, so he has to go through DOT physicals and everything, and he's going to do his DOT physical for his new job, and his blood pressure was like 200, like top of the charts, like you need to get to the emergency room now, like you're dying. And then he's like, doctor's like, do you feel okay? And he's like, I've been having headaches lately, but no, I'm good. What are you talking about?
Yep.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. That should have been my first sign because I had terrible headaches like the week before I went into the hospital, but I was like, thought it was just the stress from like losing my job and starting a new job and dealing with all of that stress. But it wasn't like migraine headache. You know, like when they're like, if it's the worst headache of your life, you should go into the hospital. Yeah, I should have gone into the hospital.
So worse
Lesson
than a
learned.
migraine?
Different than a migraine.
It's different than a migraine.
It was like an actual headache. Like a migraine for me is like all encompassing, like everything hurts. My entire like face and head hurts. Like my eyes hurt. My ears hurt. This was just like a straight up like headache right here.
So I love how many tangents we went on. I don't even know how many tangents this one was.
We need a counter.
We need a counter.
But
Smitty,
then someone has
job.
Right? I was gonna say someone
Smitty,
has to actually
He's gonna never mind, I'm not gonna say it.
I know what you're not saying.
Exactly. He knows what you're not saying, so he's gonna say it now.
Damn it.
Say it.
Keep my mouth shut.
But yeah.
A preemptive, you're fired, Smitty.
You haven't even been hired for the job yet. Well, no. You've been hired. We just haven't extended the official offer yet.
Hey, Smitty, you're hired and now you're fired. It's like that. It's like when I told you to come to the U.S. so I could deport you for a joke that you made.
That was so fucking funny.
That's glorious.
Any little
takeaway for this episode is Mike always says to be kind to yourself. Hi, Jelly Queen.
Hi, Jelly
For
Queen.
those of you who are just listening and not watching, we've got a Jelly Queen.
Got a Jelly Queen. That's Cass's cat.
That's Cass's cat, and she is objectively the softest cat I've ever pet in my entire life, and I have extremely soft cats. So
she smells like outside right now.
Oh, she's so cute.
Also, this is Elliot's cat.
But right now it's your cat because
right now it's your cat.
Meow, meow, meow.
Psst, 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 psst. You can't
like
hear me.
an objective takeaway from this is that we do need to be more kind to ourselves, and the whole give yourself grace thing is, and I think you did a really good job of that. Like, I don't know if you recognize that you did a good job of that.
You did what you needed to do to process it, like right away, and didn't dwell on it and reached out.
You reached out, like you told us, and I didn't know that you'd reached out to Mike. Maybe I missed that, but like,
no, I don't think you said anything.
Yeah, like you reached out to your support network, which is kind of the whole point of this thing. Is it is okay to reach out for help, and it's okay to we know it's going to take him 6 to 9 months to get back to anybody for any text message, but also it's one of those things where if you had needed to and you did call him, there's a 90% chance he would have answered.
I considered it and then decided I just wanted to write it out first. And then I felt okay there, so I left it there.
Yeah. That's fair.
And if you need it too, like, you can always follow up and be like, hey, and bug him. And you know that. And you reached out to us. And not only that, you came onto the podcast and you started talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is really kind of cool, the open and vulnerable in giving yourself the grace to process it.
I had zero problem bringing it here, but I had such strong hesitation about putting it in the Discord.
I think you should.
I think you should.
I think other people are going to relate to it. I think people listening are going to relate to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that listen are in that Discord.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, that I get it. In some ways I get it, because sometimes it's easier to talk about knowing that people you trust and respect are going to hear it than it is to write it out, because you can hear tone easier than you can read tone.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to frame it as like this awful thing happened to me today. It can be like, hey, this thing happened and I didn't like how I responded, and here's how I'm processing it. And I mean, it doesn't have to be like, I don't know, I don't want to say like a pity story or like feel sorry for me story, but
Cute.
it can be like, here's how I, yeah, cute. Here's how I like put in the feeling inspired something of like, this is how, you know what, I had this really crappy moment. I didn't respond how I wanted to, but this is how I processed it. And this is what I did. And I know other people can relate to it.
Yeah. That's going to require sitting at the computer because this is not something I can type out on my thumbs.
That's fair. And you don't have to do it right now. Do
Yeah.
it whenever you're ready.
Just at some point.
Yeah.
Actually, do it right now.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Mean mug you. Don't you dare. Unmute yourself, woman. Damn.
I actually didn't mute myself, but I did type on my keyboard. So there's a keyboard shortcut that I don't know.
That makes so much sense.
I love it.
Thank you for bringing this up as our unknown topic, which I think we all kind of knew was going to be the topic.
I know. I think,
but we just didn't know you were going to pick this one.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going to until you said I had 5 seconds, and then I'm like, I need something, and this feels relevant. Okay, go.
It's perfect. It was perfect.
Thank you for joining us on this Chaos, Mischief, and Muscles After Dark episode.
Number 69.
Always 69. Don't do it. 69. Actually, do it. I dare you. See what my response is going to be.
I was going to say episode 11.
Is that where we're at?
Going. I have no idea. I think we're actually
between 9 and 11.
So 10.
And on that note, before we get canceled, everybody have a wonderful day, evening, and night.
Time.
It's like the Truman Show.
Good afternoon, good evening,
and good night.
I love that movie. And this has been Muscles,
Mischief,
and Chaos.
We did it backwards. I love it.
Should we learn how to say it backwards?
No.
Yes. Not right now. You have the easy one.